In context of Florida in the late 1980s, cocaine imports had begun to reach alarming levels, turning some regions into scenes of violence, intimidation, and death, all orchestrated by an unyielding drug dealer. This dealer did not hesitate to challenge the law. Desperate for a solution, law enforcement turned to the FBI, marking the beginning of an investigation that would become a puzzle of clues and buried secrets. On July 18, 1987, in a quiet coastal town, a celebration turned into tragedy when gunshots shattered the night and a man was found dead. The clues pointed to Jeff Saganek, a significant figure in the local drug trade. Tension mounted as his girlfriend suggested to the authorities that her partner had incurred dangerous debts with the trafficker, known for his brutality. Detectives began reaching out to figures from the music scene. Locals confirmed the dark rumors about Jeff. With a mix of contradictory testimonies and suspicions, they started to piece together a portrait of his dangerous criminal network, although concrete evidence remained elusive. Despite the changing tides, the story grew grim. A year later, more lives would be lost in the dark game of drug trafficking. In the summer of 1988, a witness who had stayed in the shadows revealed shocking details. This witness pointed to Jeff's ex-boyfriend as the killer, but the shadows were fearful, and the truth was evasive. Multiple deaths piled up as the struggle for justice intertwined with the violence of the drug trade world. The course of the investigation turned dramatic with the discovery of bodies and increasingly disturbing clues. In an attempt to connect the dots, the homicide detective formed alliances with narcotics and the DEA. As the tide of evidence became insurmountable, Stephen Franken, a key witness, also mysteriously met his end in a series of events resonating with the fatality of old debts and unmet agreements. With the task of capturing the elusive drug dealer becoming ever more urgent, the FBI and DEA intensified their efforts. A series of undercover operations revealed a criminal machine operating from a local pizzeria. The clues pointed toward a dark secret, but there was no magic that could unravel the veil of silence surrounding Jeff. The tense pursuit reached a boiling point with a series of explosions. These explosions sent a message of war, not only to his competitors, but also to the authorities attempting to dismantle his empire. On the night of March 16, 1990, the DEA building was targeted in an unprecedented bombing. The violence had reached a new dimension, prompting a renewed effort for capture. Finally, in April 1990, agents were able to track Jeff, but the fall was not easy. Every move that heightened the temptation of freedom was frustrated by his cunning and caustic violence. However, after months of sleepless nights and intelligent tactics, the focus on him became unrelenting. Ultimately, after what seemed like an endless pursuit, Jeff Matthews was arrested. But his capture was only the beginning of an even more unsettling display in a trial that revealed the magnitude of his tyranny. Facing multiple deaths, Matthews not only confronted a judicial outlook, but also faced off against his own shadow, that of the man who had made fear his most powerful weapon. Upon being sentenced to 100 years in prison, freedom would become nothing more than a vestige of a past filled with terror. Jeffrey Matthews went to prison, a place where the echoes of his crimes would resonate forever. This left his victims and a community marked by the trauma of his actions. The cycle of violence had been halted, albeit only in appearance. After this chilling account of events, we invite you to subscribe and give us your like. Encourage them to explore more about this dark chapter in history.